bringing you the latest news from Lubbock High Athletics. This is the Westerner Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Good Wednesday evening. Welcome to the High School Fan Zone. I am Randy Rosetta. This is 100.7 The Score. 2 nights a week here, we talk high school sports with coaches, players, sometimes administrators, just anybody who I can con into coming in. And my first guest tonight, I don't know how I fooled them into getting here, but we've got the Lubbock High boys basketball contingent here, which is good timing. You guys start district this week, correct?
Friday.
We're going to talk about a little bit about that. The order tonight will be Lubbock High, Coronado, Friendship, and Lubbock Cooper. We'll go 20 minutes each with the first 3 and then finish up with half an hour with Lubbock Cooper and Liberty. I don't know why they get stuck with the extra time, but that's what they do. So they'll be here a little bit longer. We'll have one extra segment with them. So let's jump in and talk Lubbock High basketball. To my far left, if you're watching on TV, is Jose Perez, the first-year coach. I always like to say this, but he ain't new to the coaching business. He's been around a little bit in Lubbock. He's a Lubbock High graduate. What else am I missing? Just an all-around good dude.
All-around good dude.
There we go. Introduce your 2 players who you brought with you.
We got Raymond Mackey and Ray Mackey and Raymond Powell.
Yeah, what did you do? A few years ago, I tried to call you Raymond when we first met, and you told me it was just Ray. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's more important to keep moms and grandmas happy, but after that, I'll keep you guys happy. So. Junior, sophomore. Okay, so you got that youth going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ray Mackey's been around for a while.
He's been around.
His 3rd year on varsity.
3rd year starter on varsity. He's finally maturing. So we're not young anymore.
There we go. That's good news. I know I just did standings. Tell me where you are record-wise right now.
We're 3-8 right now.
You went to which tournament this last weekend?
We were at the Mesquite tournament.
Okay.
Played Cooley tournament.
You were there with a couple of girls' teams from this area.
Yeah, our girls were there, and then Friendship girls were there as well.
And Monterey girls. Monterey, I think, played in the championship game.
Monterey, I think, ended up winning the championship there.
They had to kind of bounce back. They opened their district and took an L, which I think surprised maybe everybody outside of 34th Street.
Yeah.
I think maybe some folks over there. You guys get going this week.
Yes, Friday. We're on the road at Tascosa.
And I think Tascosa's pretty good.
Yes, pretty good. And with them, it's Coach Jackson does a good job up there. They know who they are. They kind of remind you a lot of Estacado. Just it's a built program. It's a machine, and there's no rebuilding year for him.
I know I saw them once last year. They weren't young last year, and they were not small. They are not small. They had some boys who have been in the weight room and have been at the training table. And
yeah, he benefits from those guys playing football.
Where are you guys at right now? The last time did we talk? Have we talked since your season began, or was it right before?
I think we had just won against Hereford.
Yes, it was right after I was
Hereford.
at that game, and so that's been 10 games ago. Basketball goes quick. I was talking to a couple of the coaches today. You guys don't get to rest much, do you?
No. And it was very important for me to kind of switch up our schedule and make those games count, to kind of open our eyes and get some experience. So usually we play 1 or 2 games during Thanksgiving, and I took these guys to the tournament up in Amarillo.
Yep.
So we were there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then got those few days off for Thanksgiving, and we're right back at it. We went to Odessa that Tuesday, and then we traveled to Mesquite Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we really focused on us this off season, and I felt like we've made tremendous leaps and bounds just from where we were at the beginning of the season.
I think I have an idea. I'm going to get Ray and Raymond to talk about this. Ray, there's a lot of basketball there, but going on a couple of trips where you guys spend time together, how important has that been to kind of bring you guys together chemistry-wise?
I think it's good to get us to get to know each other, because we have our own little groups. So us traveling, we'll get to know everybody as a team, get to know everybody, how they act and stuff like that, because we're all different ages.
What about you, Raymond? If you're a sophomore, did you travel much last year, or is this the first time going on the road a bunch?
No, this is the first time going on the road a bunch, but I agree with Ray. It was good. Spend time with everybody, and then also switching up rooms, being around, socializing with everybody.
What is the breakdown? I know I saw you that night. Seniors, juniors, sophomores. Where are we?
We've lost a couple of seniors, but we have 3 seniors, 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and the rest juniors.
All right, so that's a pretty unique mix.
It's unique, but at the same time, outside of Ray, we really didn't have a lot of varsity experience coming back. So, I mean, yeah, we got a few seniors and a few juniors, but, you know, to me, it's those guys were really young as far as game experience, you know, and then coming in and trying to change the culture and expectations are a little different, but the guys have been great. You know, the community's been great. Parents have been great. You know, the buy-in has been amazing. So it makes my job a whole lot easier where I can just really focus on coaching and trying to get these guys better each day.
I mentioned the chemistry is important, especially if it's different when you're in middle school. You don't. It's been a while since I've been in middle school, but I do have a daughter who was there not long ago. There's not always a lot of 6th graders hanging out with 8th graders.
No.
And then when you get to high school, you get them together in athletics, especially. You kind of have to get them together. But I'm going to guess a lot of Ray may be the exception because he's been playing high-level summer basketball for a while. But a lot of those guys probably haven't played together a lot until now.
Right. We have a few that play Raymond and Cohen, my 2 sophomores on varsity. I think they play together for a little bit during the spring, but he travels back home summertime. So yeah, they don't get a lot of time together. So
these early games are
absolutely
important to you guys. Coming up on the break, we got some more Lubbock High basketball to talk about when we come back in the Westerner Fan Zone after this break on 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down Lubbock High sports. This is the Westerner Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the Westerner Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta. You're listening on 100.7 Score. You're watching on Fox News Now. We're talking some Lubbock High boys basketball. They get district started Friday at Tascosa, which just called Tascosa up. Tascosa did play last night. They beat Dumas. They beat Dumas 62-36. Rebels have won, looks like 6 out of their last 7. Lost to Trinity Christian. That was, I don't know if that was a tournament game or not, but you've played a lot of teams that are going to be familiar to folks when you start looking at them. They beat Friendship. That may have been Friendship season opener right after they got their football guys back. This is a little bit of a reset. Your district's so big, you reset a little bit, then you get into Caprock. But let me get Raymond to talk about it since he's a sophomore up here on varsity for the first time this year. When you play district games when you're sub-varsity, they're important. I mean, they're all important, but have you kind of noticed a little bit of an uptick in intensity this week as things start to get into district play because those games all kind of carry a little bit more weight now?
Yes, sir. I just think it was like as a team and coaching staff, we've all kind of tuned it up a level, locked in a lot more, especially in practice. Like players-wise, we've picked it up a notch than what we have been doing.
Ray's already had to talk about coaches' practices, how different they've been, so I'll get you to kind of comment on that. How different have practices been this season with Coach, being a first-year coach with you guys?
A lot different. I mean, last year also I was playing freshman, so the freshman practices just aren't as intense compared to the varsity practices. And then new coach and staff, it's a whole nother thing.
Coach Fleming's your freshman coach last year?
Yes, sir. Okay,
yeah, that's Will. I know his dad pretty well, and his dad must not have ratcheted it up with him if he's not running it. I understand why you're saying freshman practices. It's a little bit different. Ray, what have you liked these first couple of weeks about what you guys are doing to get better practice in games and all that? Because you're a guy who has been around for a while.
I feel like we've been just like we have like these games carry a little more, so we have to pick it up a notch. Just no slacking off. We all just got to come out and play as a team, and just show everybody in this district that it's a different Lubbock High.
How do you do that?
We just got to keep our head straight, just focus on what we got to do in practice, take it game at a time. We just got to play smarter, be faster than all the other teams.
So Jose, Coach Hargrove sends me stuff after your games, and he's good about sending a little comment about each one. And some of them have been, did this well, and then some didn't do this so well. So you're the guy who's got to answer it on the radio. What are your guys doing well right now?
We had 2 really good tournament showings, and I felt like we've exposed them to a lot that they hadn't really seen until they were in district. And it's kind of like for us at being around the Estacado program, you'd see the Dallas schools. If you didn't see them early, like you were seeing them second round, third round, and if you weren't familiar with their style, it took us a while to adjust. So I really, coming in, I really took away a lot of the schools that I felt weren't going to help us district-wise. And I added, some tournaments, some, big tournaments that I felt were going to get us ready for that physical play that we're going to play this next stretch. And, we and I tell these guys all the time, like, the way we played down in Mesquite is a completely different team that we played a week ago in Amarillo. And shoot, it's night and day from us playing even Hereford, and that was just a few weeks ago. But we've just been working. We've been preaching and emphasizing, every possession counts for us. So we got to be intentional with everything that we do. So defensively, we've really stepped it up a notch. They finally are kind of buying in and understanding what we're bringing, and being able to compete at that high level, like in Dallas with all those Mesquite schools that we played. They're seeing it firsthand, like, hey, this stuff really does work. This is why we ran all summer. This is why we lifted all summer. This is why we lift every day. And this is why our practices are so intense, because this is, if we do what we're supposed to do and value each possession, we give ourselves a chance. So it's really been, I've enjoyed the process, just watching them from day one to now, and I think, going into district, we're going to put ourselves in a good spot and a good, showing, being able to compete in every game.
Coming up to the end of the show, just repeat one more time, Lubbock High at Tascosa. I think it shows you guys 6:30 varsity, but I'm going to guess it's
6:30. It's only varsity, so
okay. So girls are at 5-ish.
5.
Right. Raymond, I'm going to get you to talk about when you come out next time. I've always want young guys to talk about playing defense that first time varsity level, because that's a little bit different.
It's one of the best.
There we go. Coming up on the break, we'll be back after this break talking Coronado Mustang baseball with Brad Bibb on the phone. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is 100.7 The Score.